Hey, what up, hoes? This is Vong, and I am finally ready to talk about my health crisis last year where I started vomiting blood and ended up in the hospital for 2 weeks. Um, and I want to just share the story of what happened to me, the lessons I've learned, and how I'm trying to change my life now so it doesn't happen again. And hopefully, it'll help one of you listening to this. To be perfectly honest, I'm so stubborn that even if I had heard this from my own mouth last year, I probably would have still been stubborn and not listened to it. So hopefully, y'all are not as stubborn as me and take more seriously your health. So what happened was I had been feeling really sick for months, if not over a year. But last April, May, and June, I just had decided, it's not a good time to take a break. I had a lot of showcases coming up for, major festivals, major networks, both in Toronto and New York. I was just like, okay, if I can just get through Asian Heritage Month, which is May, and then Pride Month, that, I would slow down and take it easy. Well, I got a few days into May. I was in New York, did a bunch of things, um, but there was no way my body was letting me get through May and June. So I came back to Toronto um, about the second week of May. I just started getting so sick, and I basically started vomiting blood. And now I absolutely hate hospitals. I hate them. I don't like going to doctors. It just wasn't something I was used to doing growing up. But I Googled what to do if you're vomiting blood, and every single website, WebMD, all that stuff was like, get straight to the emergency room now, now. So okay, I was like, yeah, let's go there. So I went there, and they immediately, like almost immediately, which was shocking for emergency rooms. But I guess vomiting blood is taken very seriously. So they immediately gave me my own room, isolated me, and then the next morning brought me up to a more permanent suite while they ran tests and tests and tests. And I ended up being in there for about 2 weeks, a bit under 2 weeks, mainly because they could not figure out what the hell was going on. Like it honestly felt like an episode of House. Like they just kept running more and more tests trying to diagnose. I think they were really confused because I had gone to the hospital, for vomiting blood, but the main thing that's complaining about was um, was more that like I couldn't breathe. Like I'm in the hospital, I can't breathe, and they just couldn't figure out how that was related to to vomiting blood. And so they just took all these different tests. It took a while for it to come back. They were coordinating between different wings of the hospital for all the different tests, and so after about a week, the picture started to become more clear. And what it was um, it wasn't one thing; it was like five separate things, which is why they couldn't really figure it out. So with the first thing, with the vomiting blood, they did give me, um, they took one of those cameras and stuck it down my throat so they could. Oh, hello. Can you still hear me? Sorry, I couldn't tell if the transmitter was on. Okay. So they were telling me that there was a lot of bleeding in my esophagus, so I guess I have like esophagitis or something like that. And so, pretty easily fixed. They gave me some medicine and told me not to eat within a few hours before going to bed. And then they saw me a few months after that to make sure that there was no cancer, because sometimes that could also be a cause. But I'm totally clear of that, thank goodness. Now, with the breathing, what I found out, it doesn't sound so stupid, but I lived 40 years of my life, and apparently I never knew I had asthma. So they were like, okay, so you have uh, pretty severe asthma. Um, combined with with sleep apnea, which I'm sure the asthma doesn't help help with that. Um, and then uh, they think it all got exacerbated by a case of COVID that I had, or multiple cases of COVID that I had about a year earlier that never seemed to go away. But I just ignored because I just felt like I was being a hypochondriac. So I was like, there's no way I can be sick for this long. But apparently, COVID was the instigator that flared up all my underlying issues, like asthma, which now I'm on inhalers. I can breathe more. It was kind of funny because I'd always told people that I was, I always put it as I was like strangely prone to pneumonia. Well, guess what? Not being able to breathe all the time is called asthma, not random ass pneumonia. So, so that also helps me figure out what was wrong with my heart rate because for the year prior to that, I sort of stopped playing sports because whenever I would play sports, my heart rate was hitting 200 plus, which you know anything about heart rates is like basically you need to stop playing if you're getting 200. So which is tough for me because I love playing sports. And even now my heart rate is still getting up there. I played badminton last week, it's still at 190. But the good thing is that it is more due to my lack of oxygen than it is to any heart problems. I had to get all my heart stuff checked out as well, and I got all clear. So they're saying that it was all due to the asthma, the COVID. Oh, also I have this rare blood disorder called thalassemia, which is something to do with oxygen cells in your blood. So, definitely not the best combination to have with COVID along with asthma and sleep apnea. So just everything sort of came together to deprive me of oxygen. And the strange thing is that looking back, I feel so dumb, but looking back, I should have known. Like I said, I always said it felt like I had what I thought was pneumonia for over a year, which basically aligns to when I got COVID. And I don't know, anyway, when you look back, it seems obvious. In the moment, it's not so obvious. Also, I had been seeing a doctor previous to that who was basically gaslighting me all the time. Like every time I went to see him, he would basically make me feel like I was like wasting his time to come see him. And there were two visits in the last few years where I went to see him. He sent me home saying he had nothing, and then I ended up in the emergency room. Like not this trip, like other trips. So basically, he was a total ass who, I don't know, his main job was just to tell me that I was crazy and nothing was wrong. So luckily I'm not with him anymore. I'm with a new doctor who is very patient, really listens to me. So that's the advice I'd give too, is find a doctor who will actually believe you, not a doctor who keeps telling you that you're crazy, because that is not helpful for anybody. So this year, what I'm doing now is, I'm slowly reintegrating into weekly sports. I've started back up at badminton and volleyball. No, not volleyball, badminton and tennis. Hopefully we'll get back to volleyball at some point. Maybe try a new sport like pickleball. But just basically going back and doing what I love. And just socially, it's really nice to get back and see people as well. The hard thing for me is to take it easy because when I play sports, maybe it was coached into me as a kid, but like if I can get a ball, like basically what I was told was like, if the ball hits the floor or the shuttlecock or the birdie, like, it was like, if that ball hits the floor, I better see blood because you dove for it. Like, don't just let that shit hit the ground. So it's very difficult for me to to just play for fun. Like I have fun on the court, but I am very competitive, and so it's been really different for me. Because in the past I've told myself, okay, I'm just going to play for fun, but then I get there and all my competitive juices get flowing, or oh, I'm playing against one of my major rivals, or oh, the team that I'm captaining, oh yeah, I'm gonna take it easy, but we're, it's a tie game with only a few points left. Like I can't let them down. Like I would just come up with excuses that just pushed my heart rate into a point where I then had to sit out the rest of the day. So I am getting better at that, slowly but surely, because obviously dying is not worth winning some random game of, gay sports. Not that I'm putting gay sports down, I love gay sports, but obviously it's not worth dying over. And I am slowly learning that. um, so I've tried a few other things this year too, and I'm going to be documenting my journey more of what I'm trying, but, you know, some of these things I'm not sure if they'll work, but they're just sort of for fun. I've been trying intermittent fasting, which has been super helpful. I've been trying, I tried cold showers or cold baths. Uh, and I'll be releasing some footage of that. It's pretty crazy. I've been trying this thing called bed of nails, where you basically sit on, the modern equivalent of the traditional bed of nails, and it's supposed to release pressure points. I've been, that's, I have had some good health successes. The first one being I've been trying to get more flexible to avoid injury. So for the first time, probably since high school, I'm able to touch my toes. So I'll show you guys that in a video. And I am currently working on doing the front splits, which would have sounded crazy, but I'm hoping I'll be able to do that by the end of the year. And yeah, so I'm just going to be more open and honest and vulnerable about my different struggles, both my health struggles, both physical health and mental health, because, they're definitely tied in together. And I'm hopefully listening to this help somebody else. Like I mentioned off the top, I'm super stubborn, so I ain't gonna lie. I probably wouldn't have listened no matter what anybody told me last year until it happened to me. So I just hope that you're not as dumb and stubborn as me, and that you take better care of your health than I have, so that we can have long, prosperous lives. My name is Vong Show, and I just want to thank you for listening, and that's what's up.